I got 3 hours before I go into work, and I'm going to probably do this is probably one of these 3-in-1 rants. So whoever listens to this, God bless you. One of the rants I've already did, and I bared my fucking soul on that one. And that is the last one I'm going to be talking about. And that last one, it was hour long. And I fucking bared my fucking soul. The file got corrupted. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should tell this story again, but shorter. I don't know if I said too much. I don't know. Maybe sometimes some things happen, and I'm like, maybe this is God telling me something. I'm not super religious, but I'm one of the people where I feel like where things happen for a reason, I feel like that is God giving me a message. Maybe, and if it gets corrupted again, maybe I shouldn't tell this story. I don't fucking know. But I'm going to try this again. But anyway, the first rant is either gonna be three or two, depends on how good my memory is. But one of the rants is, why do we call Kanye a genius? And and the reason why I'm saying this because everybody looks at Kanye. You know, Kanye's been a big story and big talk, and everybody is looking at Kanye. And, you know, one thing they always say is that people just gonna love him because of his music, or they gonna call him a genius, and then, you know, there are Kanye defenders. Now, I am a Kanye defender myself, but even I have said, there's some shit I can't defend. I don't blindly defend Kanye, but I do let people know that stop giving him attention. As a Kanye fan and a Kanye defender, I tell people, I don't know why you keep giving this nigga attention. The more you give, and like this is me saying this as a Kanye fan and defender, the more you give this nigga attention, the more you're gonna, that's what he thrives on. The more you give him attention, the more you love it. The more he's gonna do whatever the fuck you. I want people to realize, and also I want people to realize, every time you tell Kanye not to do something, he is going to fucking do it. And this has been like this since even before, you know, he done turned MAGA on people. I want people to understand this. Like when he was performing Graduation, and he was like, "You can't put this out. People don't want to hear this. You can't put this out." He was like, "I fucking did it anyway, and look where it's at." Kanye is the epitome of, I'm going to do it. Fuck you. I don't care. Fuck you. I'm going to do it. There's no logic in it. It's a feeling. A lot of things Kanye does is run on feeling. It's not logic. It's not no genius shit. It's just feelings. So my thing is, he don't really think about a lot of shit. He just like does it and see what the fuck happens. Is that genius? Or it's just that a string of luck? And this is what I ask, and this is what I'm telling people. And this is why I ask that question, because there are times where I look at shit and I go, why the fuck are people like, okay, his clothing lines. I never liked this shit. It looked like um rich homeless shit. It doesn't look appealing. None of Kanye's not even the shoes. The Red October Yeezys, yes, but none of Kanye's shoes, in my opinion, or none of his outfits, nothing that he ever promoted, in my opinion, looks good. Nothing. Nothing that, and this is, like I said, I am a Kanye fan. Maybe I'm just a fan of his music, but other shit, maybe I'm just not a fan of his fashion, but people buy it. I'm a fan of his rants because I like the fact that he talks whatever the fuck he wants. He literally says what the fuck he wants. And I like that about that, because he is not afraid to be who he is. Whether you like him or not, he is, and that's why I feel like people defend him, because he's being who the fuck he is. And I've always said this, people are just like, I miss the old Kanye. And when people say that, I said, this has always been Kanye. It's just that he's not on the same side as majority of people that the fucking supported him or loved him. This is, to me, this has always been Kanye. Now, I've said this on the podcast, and I've said this on many times. Ever since he lost his mother, he lost his safety net. And I always feel like he just needs someone to latch on. And I said he was trying to latch on to Jay-Z at one point, Beyonce, Donald Trump, Obama, Jesus. Yes, I think he latched on Jesus. And like I said, I don't question a man in his faith. That's between him and God. But I do think he latched on to Jesus because he was finding that safety net. But um, every time he does stuff, and then later on he apologizes, and then he going to go do it again. Why do you? It's like, what's genius about that? To me, I don't know if I find that genius, but I do see. I don't find the genius, but I do see the genius in one way that I don't want to say he's. It's not that I think he's a genius. Most of the time, I just think he's bold. But sometimes, ignorance can be bold. Maybe, I don't know. It's just like some people look at him as he's a musical genius. Yes, he is a fucking musical savant. But just because he's a musical savant of a genius, and I can give you that one, but everything else, this nigga just said he don't read books. And I tell people all the fucking time, and like I said in my I hated that Kanye West said that slavery was a choice video. Some of this shit like that, it doesn't make him sound credible. He's like, I don't read books. And he said that shit so proudly. And I'm like, that's not a flex. That's really that's not a flex. Well, I know now that, he's been quoting fucking Dr. Claude Anderson and shit, in which Dr. Claude Anderson is a bright man. And you know what? Dr. Claude Anderson, not only he read books, he fucking wrote books. So where the fuck are you getting all this information from, Kanye, unless you're speaking to the man directly? But like I said, it's Kanye. It's like, I just think he's bold, more or less of a genius. I just think he's just bold in what he do. He's one of those people that, I'm going to do it anyway, whether he fucking works it. The thing is, everything has been working for him. Even this White Lives Matter bullshit that people are against, it is working for him because you're giving them attention. You're giving them eyes on this fucking Easy Line or some shit like that. So, what are we saying? It's just, but I want people to, it's like, why do you call him a genius? And I really would like to hear some answers from people. It's like, why do you call him a genius? I said, I already know, like, he tried to give me the definition of a genius, and I was like, you didn't answer and I looked at it, was like, you didn't answer my question. And, like, I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll get pissed at it because I think the guy that fucking did it, I always kind of find him like a fucking idiot. But let me not talk about that. So yeah, that's my rant about Kanye, I guess. Was there another one? There's a third one I want to get to, and was it about the BBL shit? Was it, like, I do have my opinions on the BBL shit because, like, the Kardashians took out their BBL. They're more like going back to their white shit, or I don't know. There was a video of, I think it was like YouTuber Real Talk with Yanny, and then like it became about BBLs to all of a sudden her not liking black men and some shit like that. And I was like, how the fuck did it get there? It's just like, and then like the first half of the video is about, her is like the girls with BBLs, they're usually single and lonely, and the women with the natural bodies are ones that fucking married and shit. And all of a sudden, the second half of the video is she's just going at black men because, she got a body herself. It was really about her. I'm not gonna lie, that video was really about her. It was like somewhat narcissistic, about her, and then or the cat calling, and then it's like, oh, black man. It's just it was a weird fucking video. It's just like, where the fuck? How we go from BBLs to you talking about black men? It's like some of y'all black women YouTubers are fucking amazing. The way y'all can switch a fucking topic so quick to blame black men. And I find that amazing. It's just like, how do you do it? That's all. Half the time I was like, how do you do it? That's not even a real, that's just like a side rant or some shit like that. Because don't get me wrong, I had a bunch of random joints I wanted to talk about, like Cardi B and other female rappers fucking beefing. And I told my little sister, I said, this is why women can't run the world. Because y'all will fight each other. I thought, that's one, and it's just like, and that's it on that one, because that's not really like much to talk about, but that. This is why it's like that Cardi B and JT are, because, y'all go from working together, and yes, I know the industry can be very fucking fake. Don't get me wrong, I know that. But how y'all go from being in a music video, y'all twerking in a fucking music video, to just, and then, the whole WAP movement, and then it's just like, it was supposed to be this women empowerment thing. And now they're fucking beefing on Twitter and all that other shit. But it's just like, damn. That's like, how y'all go from, and I don't know, I'm not putting the blame on anyone, but I just want to say this, like, Cardi's the only person I know that be going on other women's, like, she be trying to put female rappers on. Like, Cardi's the only person I know, because Nicki never did this. I don't care what none of y'all fucking say. Nicki never did this. And I know y'all probably say, well, she did it with Megan Thee Stallion. And I was like, Megan Thee Stallion was already popping. So in my opinion, like, that was Meg doing Nicki a favor instead of Nicki doing Megan a favor. And even then, that song wasn't that hot. And I'm talking about, I think it was called Hot Girl Summer or some shit like that. Like, to me, that song wasn't that hot. It's a very forgettable fucking song. Not gonna lie to you. And even Megan, like, as much God bless her, she be fucking hopping on teams and all that other shit. It was like, this, and that type of shit is why I always said, like, you women cannot run the world, because that right there show you, like, it go from, like, a women's empowerment movement, y'all need to stick together, and y'all just not. Also, Cardi don't have to do this, because she was sounding out female rappers that don't use a pussy. She did do that. But I do want to see her on a song with female rappers that don't talk about their pussy a lot. That's another thing. It's one thing to say there's a bunch of dope rappers that don't talk about her pussy, that don't talk about their pussy, that y'all don't listen to. That is great that Cardi said that. But also, Cardi, you got to be on tracks with them too. Like the Remy Ma's, the Chicas, the No Names, the Rhapsodies, the Jean Greys. Those people. Do songs with them. I would love to see a Cardi B and Rhapsody song. I know Rhapsody and Remy Ma, they just got a song. And side note, Remy Ma was looking good lately. It's like, props to Pat Poose. Props to Pat Poose. But yeah. That's enough about that one. Women, whoever said that, women ran the world, there'd be no world, shit. Clay Davis' voice, shit. My next rant. Leave Lizzo the fuck alone. Please, leave Lizzo the fuck alone. I don't understand. Like, Lizzo is such low-hanging fruit. I've been saying this for the longest. I am tired of people talking about Lizzo. I am not a big Lizzo fan. I don't listen to Lizzo's music. I do think she is a talented woman. I have said that on many fucking occasions, that I think Lizzo is really fucking talented. But I've also said, if you are in the media more than for anything other than your music on numerous occasions, I don't think you're that talented. I have to make this, but at the same, even though I think there are sometimes Lizzo does do it to herself, like I've seen a couple videos where she does do it to herself. There's other times where I'm like, y'all just be putting Lizzo into anything. Now, like some of the YouTubers I fucking watch, like when they mention a big girl or a BBW, they don't say BBW no more. One of them literally says Lizzo size woman. A couple of them, they done said Lizzo size woman. And it's gone to a point where it's just like, I feel like we're bullying Lizzo. And I don't know if we're bullying Lizzo to lose weight or we're just bullying Lizzo just to bully Lizzo. Now, personally, yes, I've talked about Lizzo on my channel many occasions, but not to bully. Like, like, you don't ever, like, I've talked about it. I talked about the situations here, but I've also stated the fact that many times y'all talk about it too much to the fact that anytime y'all bring her up is low hanging fruit. And the shit with Candace Owens, that was just another fucking example of her being low hanging fruit. Yes, she is a big girl. Yes, being that big is very fucking unhealthy. And side note, because this is for all the Lizzo defenders. Because I know Ari Spears got at her for no reason. And I didn't like that Ari Spears got at her for no reason. But he does have a point, and a lot of these people have a point, because I remember, and I was watching Playback, and I liked them. And this is not a diss to Playback. But when Ari Spears was talking about his shit, and fucking Low and Agent was like, "You're fat yourself," in which they are correct. He was like, "You have the audacity because you're fat yourself." Now, they do have, in one way, they do have a point. But as I said in that video where he was talking about it, I said, was he wrong? Is it right message, wrong messenger? Because I remember Jillian Michaels saying the same shit. And Jillian Michaels is a fitness trainer. If you're not gonna listen to Lizzo, y'all not gonna. If y'all like somebody, y'all gonna defend it no matter what. Because the same shit Ari Spears said, the same shit Jillian Michaels said, and the same shit every fitness trainer I've heard fucking say. Y'all don't listen to nobody, whether they are in shape or not. Y'all don't fucking listen to anybody. I done said this. It's like, well, if you're not gonna listen to Ari Spears, who you gonna listen to? Someone that's been in shape enough. Okay, Jillian Michaels, she's fucking made a career about being in shape and fitnesses and sold fitness equipment and shit. And yes, I know Lizzo has been in gym. Y'all done seen Lizzo in gym equipment and some shit like that. And she moves very well for big girls, sort of like how sumo wrestlers train. And if anybody knows how sumo wrestlers train, that's not a fucking insult. Or like, how offensive linemen train. Yeah, offensive linemen, they're big, but they're really fucking mobile. I don't know, and I'm not saying that to cross the line or, to, jump on a low-hanging fruit thing, but if you ever seen a low offensive lineman, they're really fucking strong. And they're really athletic for that size. Same thing with Mark Henry. Mark Henry wasn't fat. He was the world's strongest man. He was at one point the world's strongest man. If you go to fucking strongman competitions, a lot of them are built like fucking Mark Henry. They're not built like Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger shit, that's more or less for aesthetics and looks. But people that is really like strongman and shit, built like Mark Henry. Don't believe me? Look at him. Just look at it. But I guess that's my rant on. I'm telling you, the reason why I'm holding this one last because I feel like there was another rant, and I'm just going through the many shit that's going through my head and shit. Oh, this wasn't it either, but I want to talk about it. Ray J and the whole, him almost wanting to end his life. I seen that Whack 100 was like, he was basically like, jump, we ain't for this shit on pyro. I feel like and this is not to defend Whack 100, and you will never hear me defend that Whack 100 because I guess this is what my friend was talking about when he was talking about fucking tone. God damn it. But I think he was trying to be like Morgan Freeman and lean on me. You smoke crack, don't you? Go ahead, jump. You already gonna kill yourself. Might as well just jump off the building, smoke crack. You smoke crack, don't you? That's what I could be wrong. I could be really fucking wrong. That's what I feel like that's what it meant. But either way, fucking Whack 100 handled that shit wrong. You're supposed to be the big homie. You are supposed to be the big fucking homie. And yet you act like, which leads to this fucking point. Be careful who the fuck your big homies are. Some people are just not good with coping or, a coping mechanism or some shit like that. Some people, like, there are people that, you want to, like, express your fucking feelings for, or, you got very deep thoughts and you want to, like, just, share with somebody. Be careful who you share them to, because if you share niggas like Whack 100, he gonna look at you like a little bitch. He's like, nigga, we don't do that shit on Pyru. That's not Pyru business. And he's gonna look at you like a motherfucking softy, which you're not really a softy. You're just really going through some shit. So be careful and I know a lot of people is just like, they're open books and all that other stuff, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of them really have that deep of a trauma, and I could be wrong. But a lot of them really don't have that deep of a trauma that fucking, most people go through. So I'm not going to put anything on their names, but at the same time, it's just like, really? Yeah. That's what, I guess that's why I look at it as that. So, I have never been a Ray J, and this is coming from someone that's never been a Ray J fan. I always thought Ray J was kind of fucking corny, if you ask me. Ever since I seen him on fucking TV, I always thought he was fucking corny. With that being said, I don't want to see a brother go through that. I don't want to see a brother go through that. Thinking about, like, he was like, if it wasn't for my kids, I'd have probably jumped. Now, this goes to show you, that's what it was. Vlad. It was Vlad. That's what the fuck it was. That was the rant I wanted to talk about. It was fucking Vlad. And I had to go through Ray J. Vlad and the video game depression thing. Because he was like, he said a tweet, and I don't have the tweet in front of you, but it goes the line of, if you play video games for a long couple hours, it might be a form of depression. So, and like the tweet went viral. I wanted to give my thoughts on that. So, I am going to say this. Young Jock had a point where it said it can lead to depression, depending on who it is. But for some people, because Vlad was like, think about the top 100 moments, and do they involve video games? Now, this is coming from a person that traveled. Like, I've traveled. Like, I've been to other countries. I've been in other states and all that. But, and maybe because and he calls himself a gamer, but I don't know how hard of a gamer he is. So, I'm not, for what everybody calls, like, it's one of those things where if you was a gamer, you wouldn't say no shit like that. But I'm not going to ignore the obvious. I've gone to convictions, and I've gone to fucking hell. I've gone to fucking places where people don't shower. Like, if you ever, like, there's a whole thing in the Smash community about people don't shower. And that might be like, they'll play Smash forever and they don't shower. There's people that, they'll, including myself, there's plenty of times where there's nothing to do. I'll go fucking play fucking video games or some shit like that. But I have gone to a point where I remember I didn't play video games for like 2 months. And you know what the weird part is? During those 2 months, I didn't play video games. I didn't get a lot of shit done either. Cause cause I'm a big procrastinator. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm a big procrastinator. And I was like, and the time I didn't have a video game was just like, it was like, you would think, oh, I would get so much work done and all that other stuff. So it was just like when I fucking didn't play video games for like a good 2 months. And I mean a good straight 2 fucking months. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get so much work done. I'm gonna start exercise. I didn't do shit. I remember that. I didn't do shit. And this is I guess this part right here, this is very exposing, but it's like I didn't do nothing for those 2 months. I literally sat in my room and did nothing. Was I depressed? Probably. I don't know why. I think it was after I got COVID. And like fucking I'm not gonna even I think I did a video about it but I never put it out. But COVID fucked me up for a minute. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. COVID really fucked with my head a bit. Like why the it was like that might be that gonna be another story. But I remember I didn't do shit for like 2 fucking months. Didn't want to do no videos. I didn't want to put nothing on YouTube. I didn't want to do nothing. And I wasn't playing video games either. So I just sat in my room and did fucking nothing. It was one time I thought my father, I thought I gave my father COVID. It was one thing. Because there was sometimes he was up at night coughing. I was like, God damn it, I hope this nigga didn't have COVID. Yeah, COVID, and like I said, COVID fucked me up to a point where, yeah, even I was like, I think those 2 months, I was depressed as fuck. But I wasn't playing no video games, so I wasn't saying leave the food. Now, what I'm saying, now, with that being said, in 100 Things of Life, a couple of them include video games. A couple of them do include video games, especially some of your favorite video games. Sometimes playing some of your favorite video games where like where video games taught you about real life. So I think any gamer can understand there are games that will teach you about real life and will get you inspired about shit. Just like how people they look at Dragon Ball Z and they get inspired by Goku and some shit like that. There are people I've said they see Goku training and them niggas get they fucking train their ass off just to look like Goku because of Dragon Ball Z. Or people get into martial arts because of Dragon Ball Z or some shit like that. Sometimes video game could be a gateway for depression, but I've seen video games be a gateway for people to do successful shit as well. Sometimes in the industry or outside the industry. You cannot tell me any kid that played Final Fantasy VII for the first time is one of the greatest moments of their life. And then so when look at Max. Final Fantasy VII is one of his favorite Maximilian dude, if anybody knows who the fuck that is. Maximilian dude, one of his favorite games of all time was Final Fantasy VII. One of the videos that, even though I didn't know it was monetized, but then again, I realized that it was never a fucking ad that plays for it. It always just plays. It was when Cloud was revealed for Smash 4. And you could just look at his reaction and you could tell he was going fucking ballistic. He was just, oh my God, chill the fuck out, Sakurai. Oh my God, no fucking way. No fucking way. You cannot tell me that was one of the most 100 moments in his life. When he saw that trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake, you cannot tell me that's not one of the top 100 moments of his life. Then again, his life is around video games, so that's one thing. Me, I'm not gonna say I've lived a different life. I will say that. I've been in the Navy. Like I said, I travel. I've seen places like Dubai. some parts of France, some parts of Greece, and Bahrain, and like, and be coming in the Navy, and like, doing things in the Navy. It's like that was a great moments in my life too. But if you ask me, yeah, sometimes video games was a part of it. Like when I learned how to I was like the first when Street Fighter 2 was popular, I was one of the first kids that knew how to properly do a Shoryuken. I was proud of that moment because I practiced for that. It's just like um and then it's just like what's another thing? It's up there with graduating high school, fucking getting out of boot camp, getting your job in the Navy and shit. It's up there, It like Vlad is like and the other thing about Vlad's whole thing about that is that it's funny you say that, but there's people that do what Vlad do that's depressed. And there are celebrities that you would think they have it all. Them motherfuckers depressed. There's how many times where you seen people that is just like they look like the happiest person, it's just like nothing's wrong with them. Next thing you know, you found out them niggas killed themselves. And usually what people say, bruh, I just seen it. Where some people where they kill themselves, this is literally the conversation that happens when people find out that man kills himself. Bruh, I just seen him the other day. Nigga was all smiles. He was joking, laughing, kikiing, and all that shit. Nigga was in his good mood. I asked him about his day. The nigga said, "Yeah, I'm good." He was just like, "I'm good." He was like, "I'm good. I'm alive. I'm breathing." Is it because people do ask you if you good, and sometimes niggas say, "Yeah, I'm fine." It's like turns out when you're not really fine, but it's just like. So but at the same time, is that my fault? I don't think that's my fault because if he wasn't fine, he would have told you, or at least he would have trusted you enough to tell you. But most people, when they have that, it's just like, oh man, I just seen him the other day. He was straight. He was cool. He was laughing, joking, kicking, and everything. I didn't know he was going through this shit. He didn't tell nobody. And a lot of people is just like, oh, it seems like you victim blaming. It's like, nah, that's usually the conversation that usually happens when people find out. And then you hear like story, and then next thing you know, you hear stories of him fighting depression, and then like maybe some shit was really fucked up. He was just like, I didn't know that shit was happening to him. Yeah, there's people that I just see people sometimes they're happy. Next thing you know, it's just it's sad, but that's usually what happens. Um, I remember that about Etika. I'm not gonna get into it, but everybody was just like, "Oh, you'd have thought Etika was like a good dude." Next thing you know, he done offed himself, and then like, and this is my whole thing about that. I think I did a video on this channel too. I was like, no one wins in a suicide because the first thing that happens is you know, the blame game where everyone blames is just like, why didn't y'all check on him? Y'all as close friends. Why didn't no one check on him and all that stuff? And then like the close friends is like, we did check on him. And then, he never, he only tell you what he did. Some people's like, oh, he was fighting real demons and shit. We tried to get him help. We tried to get him therapy and all that other stuff. It becomes a lose-lose situation. In which, that's why I say in a suicide, no one wins. In a suicide, it's like not there are supposed to be winners and losers, but usually in a suicide attempt, no one really wins because everybody starts blaming on who instead of just like how. And then it gets to a point where it's just like who's to blame, and then once the blame game is done, it's like what I could have done to prevent this, and sometimes you did and then sometimes it's just to a realization. And I say this not to be cruel, but sometimes this is a harsh truth. You probably done everything you probably fucking could. There are some people you done everything you could for that individual. Sooner or later, the way he was feeling, he was probably just going to take his life anyway because he probably didn't feel worth it. Sometimes it be like that. That is the harsh fucking truth that a lot of people have to swallow because it's just like, damn, if I was there for him, it's like, even if he was there for him, he probably would have done it. It's just like, because the thing is, you have, and like I said, this is harsh, but at the same time, this is true. Sometimes your life gets busy. And sometimes you don't have time to babysit another grown individual. When you have problems yourself that you need to fucking adjust. And sometimes and a lot of depressed people, they latch on people. I hate to say this, which is why I tell people to go to therapy. But they try to latch on people. It's just like, I need problems and all that stuff. And then you probably going through some shit yourself and you're not going to be mean. But at the same time, you be like, I would love to help you, but I got to get through some shit myself. When I'm done with this, I swear, and some people do come back, talk about their problems, but some people's just busy with life and shit. You're an adult. That's why, like I said, suicide is a lose-lose situation. So the whole thing with Vlad is, I've seen rich men take their lives. I've seen poor men, in the situations where suicide might have been their best option, and they fucking make it through. I've seen people with down on their luck. And it's like they got not a dime to their name. Fucking still alive to this day. Motherfuckers can have anything in this world. They'll kill themselves. The world's a weird place. And that's all I'm saying. On to the last. And this is the one I'm going to hold. My last, because the one that it got erased. Well, no, the file got corrupted. And like I said, I bared my soul on this. And it was about, because I was thinking about the John Boyega shit, because he's married, not married, but, he dates black women. He was just like, he only dates black women. And I've always said, if I wanted to marry someone, I wanted to be a black woman. My preference is dark-skinned women. And I've always thought, I remember the first time, not the first time. I remember when I was talking to this girl. I'm not going to say her name, but I always thought she was beautiful. And one day she just sat next to me. And she was like, and my preference is dark skin. And girl, beautiful chocolate girl. Beautiful chocolate dark skin joint. She was talking about, I just don't like when people have preferences, especially because, they was talking about how their preferences is light skin. And I was like, and I literally said this, I have a preference. My preference is dark skinned women. And you could tell, she was like, oh. I was like, and it's just like, I don't want to say it made her pussy tickle, but it did something to her. it did something to her. And then, I took her out to eat. I was like, you want to go get something to eat? She was like, I ain't got no money. I said, I'm good. I said, you good. I got you. I was being a big homie. Sometimes, you the big homie. And sometimes it's like, and me, when I'm hungry and I'm having a good conversation with someone, I've done this for men and women. Not bisexual, but, we, especially when I did this in school a lot, it's like, if someone, I knew had a project, I said, all right, I'm going to McDonald's. You want to come with me? And they go, I ain't got no money. It was like, I got you. And, some of them, it was like, shit, thank you. Let me tell y'all something. When you tell a college kid that I got you, them the happiest motherfuckers ever. It's just like, oh, word? And that's McDonald's. And this is around the day, because, college kids be surviving in some shit like that. I told her, I don't think we went to McDonald's, but I think we went to, a spot that I just wanted some fucking wings or some shit like that, and they had some good-ass wings. And I was like, you want to go get something to eat? And she was like, I ain't got no money. I was like, I got you. She gave me a kiss on the cheek that day. It was just she was so appreciative. She gave me a kiss on the cheek on that. And side note, I didn't have sex with this woman. But that's what she did was what a lot of people don't do, especially a lot of you women don't do, especially when a nigga tell you got, she showed gratitude. And that's what I liked about it. And, you know, since that day, I didn't mind paying for, like, she was like, I didn't mind helping her out with shit. Because she showed gratitude. It was time where she was like low on tuition or something like that. She was like $120 short or something like that. And she could tell you, I fronted her the money. I didn't ask for sex. I didn't want sex. And, you know, I didn't want sex from her and all that stuff. I wasn't like, oh, you got to fuck me for this and that. I was like, you know what? You the homie. It's like, like you and I have such dope conversations. I want to see you graduate. I gave her the money. She showed me gratitude. And sometimes women, if a man is like paying for you, that's all he wants sometimes is some gratitude. That girl showed me gratitude. And that's all, you know, that's all niggas, that's all some niggas is really ask for or some shit like. Some of you women, like, y'all feel like entitled to some shit like that. Y'all don't even like show no gratitude to a nigga that's taking you out to dinner or some shit like that. Some of you women need to show some gratitude about that. That's my rant inside a rant, which is inside of another rant because, like, I wasn't even talking. This rant, this last thing was supposed to be like the 3 white girls that, you know, I thought about getting in a relationship with. One of them, like, and I'm only gonna speak on one of them because, like, that shit took me an hour long. But to finish the joint with the dark skin joint, yeah, it was like she gave me a kiss on the cheek. We went to go eat and all that other stuff, and then we just had a conversation and some shit like I said, cool chick. If I see her, I haven't seen her in a minute though, but if I see her again, it's like I'm pretty sure like we'll pick up when things left off. Dope girl. She like, but you know what? I'm gonna just cut this one. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this one short. And I'm going to make another video because if this shit gets corrupted, I'm gonna fucking have a fit. So I'm going to shut this off right now, tune into the next video, and I'm going to talk about the 3 white women I thought about getting into a relationship with. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly. If you have sat through this whole thing, God bless you. If you have sat through this whole thing, God bless you. But until then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.